Live, hip, inspiration for the soul. For the soul. For the soul. You're listening. You're listening to the Whatever It Takes Show with Tracy Casey-Arnold.
Welcome to the Tracy Casey-Arnold Show. I am TA, and I say this all the time, but boy, do I mean it. I am so glad that you decided to join us today for a month that I'm just kind of excited about. I'm a big movie buff, if you don't know that. And anytime we have a focus that's based on a movie theme, man, I'm just excited. And so this month, our focus is Hope Floats. Now, if you do not know that movie title, if you don't have flashbacks of your emotion of breaking down in that movie theater, or man, of scenes with Sandra Bullock as Birdie with her daughter Bernice yelling for her dad to come back, man, something's wrong with you. This movie to me just eluded so many different emotions, had me screaming, yelling, excited, crying in so many different phases because it captured to me the beauty and the sorrow of hope and how it floats. So I'm excited you guys have joined us. You guys, we're going to dive in today as I bring the monthly focus for this month, you guys, as we talk about how, no, not at the bottom and not in the middle, but only at the top can you find hope because it floats. We'll be right back.
This journey is tough. I hear you calling. I felt defeated. Your voice follows me relentlessly. I've fallen countless times, blinded by my pain. But there's always hope. But I will rise up, for you are with me. Darkness has been defeated. I believe he rose.
Welcome back, you guys. This is TA bringing our monthly focus for this month, which is called Hope Floats. And right before we left, I talked about the movie. And again, I challenged every single one of you. If you don't know the movie Hope Floats, I need you to stop, drop, and roll. I need you to go to your Apple TV or your Roku, because we no longer have video stores. And I need you to type in Hope Floats, download that movie. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. I need you to watch that movie because that movie just had so many shades of emotions. There was no way that you could not relate to the story of Birdie and her being left by her man, who, by the way, I thought he was kind of hot before, but I'm having issues with him ever since that movie. But he left her for another woman, and how she had to find out was through her being on an appearance of an actual talk show. And I cannot tell you the devastation of how many times, several of us, when it comes to our lives, that we become that movie picture. We become the spectacle. We have moments of being where everybody is watching. And in those moments, you've got to keep it together. You got to show face. You got to act like you got it together when all you want to do is break down. And I love this movie. I love the fact that it's a story of a mom who not only had to stand up and work through her emotions to try again and live again, but she had the most beautiful daughter that I know grabbed every single one of your hearts, Bernice, as she packed up all of her stuff to leave her mom because she thought her mom was the reason why her dad was leaving. And she walked down those stairs. Y'all know the scene. As dad was climbing into the taxi and he says, baby, daddy's got to go build a life. And it's time for me to have a chance. And Bernice was like, daddy, don't leave me. Don't leave me. And daddy got in that taxi cab and drove off. And there was Bernice with her suitcase running after her dad. Man, I can't tell you, just even visualizing that scene again, how my heart starts to race and I'm getting a little choked up because it was a moment where all Sandra Bullock could do, all Bertie could do, was to sit on that stairs at her mama's house and watch her daughter chase after something that she knew was not going to be in her life. And how she knew in that moment, not only did she need to rebuild her daughter's life, Bertie needed to know how to rebuild hers. Oh, I love this movie. But that's what this focus is about this month, you guys. It is so about in moments of divorce, in moments of challenges, in moments of heartbreak, in moments of death, man, even moments of life, in moments of destitution, of blessings and sorrow. We all go through all these things. But even in all these things, we must know that hope floats. Hope doesn't sink. Hope cannot be brushed away. Hope cannot be covered because no matter how much you try to push it down in the water for it to go all the way down to the ground, the moment you let go, hope floats. Which is why I want to talk to you a little bit. I want to talk to you about how to find hope when you feel like things are hopeless. You know, we are in a time, and I know you've been hearing many people say this, but I'm going to say it again. We are in a time, in a place, in our world, and in our nation, where every single one of us are looking for hope. You know, here we have news. When we turn on the TV, it's one thing after another. It's kids being killed and shot in a school. It's people just being shot at random. It's hate, anger, fights, discord. It's backlashing, it's feuds. All we see is devastation, destruction. And all we see is, to me, a pit of blackness. But I need you to know, and I need you to listen to me, that hope is there. And for a lot of us, we can't see it. And let me tell you why. It's because sometimes when we're looking for hope, we're looking in the wrong place and in the wrong level. Meaning, in order to find hope, you can't be looking at the bottom. You can't be down at the bottom. You've got to look up, and you must, at all cost, swim to the top, even if you can barely swim. Because at the top of that flood in your life, at the top of what feels like you're drowning, at the top of everything rushing in that moment, that if you just can get to the top and swim with all your might, all your breath, what you've got left, you will find that when you look around, all you will see is hope. Now, I hope you heard me say a couple of things, because there's a couple things that you must do to get there. Number one, you must make a decision. You must make a choice bigger than anything. That in that moment when all things look lost, all that weight is on you. In that moment that maybe it is you that have just gone through a divorce and your whole life has been ripped, or you just lost a loved one and you don't know why. How could that happen? Or you've had to watch a loved one wither away. In that moment, in order to have hope, in order to be able to breathe, in order to be able to go another day, to even feel okay with you living in life, you breathing, you having another day, when something has been lost, you must make the choice to live, to breathe, to hope. Because only in that choice can you decide and you align with what must happen next. You must take action. See, you can make a decision to want things to change. You can make a decision to want the Lord, just take this pain away from me, Lord. Just remove it from me. But even in those moments of supplication, petitioning fervently to the Lord will meet you. Oh my God, he'll even carry you. But you must act. And for a lot of us, we say, Tracy, I don't have the strength. I can't even lift my arms in a moment like that. See, I'm not talking about the physical act. I'm talking about the mental act. I'm talking about the emotional act. And the only thing that you need to do in that moment, as you saw Sandra Bullock, Birdie, do, all she could do was sit on that step. And know in that moment there was nothing she could do, but let me tell you what she did do. She let go and she submitted to it. She allowed herself to feel. She allowed herself to grieve. She allowed herself to feel destitute and to feel lost and forsaken. Matter of fact, I love her mother. Her mother was always trying to get her to step up, to get dressed, to go out, to do things, my Lord, to be back in life. Her mother was trying to push her forward. But in those moments of those times when we feel that hope is lost, first thing we must do is we must make a choice to submit. Think about drowning in water. Think about being hit with something so hard that you don't know how you're going to even find the strength to want to live the next day. But do you realize that when you're drowning, if you just take your arms and you do this, do you realize that your body is made to float to the top? I mean, I'm going to go really deep. But that is why a lot of times when bodies die, and let's say you put them in the water, if you look at them, they float. Because at that point, they just submit it. They're gone. But in that moment, if you just put down your arms, if you just say, you know what, I can't change this right now, but I am going to submit to it right now. Watch what happens, because let me tell you who you're submitting to. Let me tell you who you're letting go and falling into. You're submitting and falling into him. And even though you have all these people around you that are trying to tell you, man, take this shake, go run it off, go join this club, go, to the grievance, go do that, all these things, that you can't even get to that. You can't even fathom that until you allow yourself to submit to what is happening. Because sometimes it's the fighting against it is what takes you out and exhausts you. And in that moment with Sandra Bullock, that's what she had to do. And for some of us, those are things that are going on in our marriage. There are things that are going on in our kids. There are things that are going on in this nation right now. There are things going on with people that we are losing left and right. But in that moment, you must let go and you must fall into his arms. The third thing that you must do, and for some of us this is the hardest, is that when you let go and you submit, you let God. And I say that in such a way as I move forward because I'm a control freak. I'm one that, man, I want to fix it. I want to change it. I want it to be gone. I don't want it to happen. I want it to turn back. I just feel if I do this and I can do that, then it'll be different and it won't be and everything will fall back into place. But in that moment of when you feel you got your butt kicked or you feel a weight of pain that you just can't breathe, you must submit and let God move in that moment. Let him do in that moment. But you must submit to him. And in order to submit to him, you must say his name, Jesus. You must ask for help. And for those of you who don't have that relationship with the Lord, then okay, because let me tell you what I believe. I believe that the Lord has manifested himself in many people around you. That even if all you can do is submit and fall in to a friend, someone that you love and you trust and say, I can't. Can you hold me? Can you be here with me? Can you talk with me? Can you just listen to me breathe? I believe that our Lord and Savior manifests himself in people that he will be there with you. The next thing I believe about hope is hope can never be lost. And for a lot of us that get to a place of a devastation with all of these challenges and setbacks and sorrows and heartbreak and pain and divorce and loss, we feel lifeless. But I need you to know that hope doesn't die. Hope is in you. And for some of us, how do we go and fight another day or look forward to the next day or believe even in a tomorrow when we can't even make sense of this? And I will tell you that hope is something that's not seen. Hope is not something that you can hold in your hands. It's like faith. Hope is something that even if all you can do is have it in your heart. And for us to find that can sometimes take many people around us, can take long submission to the Lord, can take us getting into the Word. It could take us talking to people. It could take us petitioning. And it can take us where sometimes silence is the place to be. But hope is something that must be found, which means you must search for it. You know, I've coached millions of people. I've had the privilege of sharing the heart and the burdens of children, teenagers, of single moms and single dads and couples of elderly. And I will tell you, the one thing that I have seen is that when we decide to find hope, when we know even maybe places to go and find it, we can. And so I recommend that in moments like that you surround yourself around life, whether it's the life of the laughter of kids and going to a children's home, or it's the life of going to a senior living home, you know, or it's engaging yourself where you don't have to say a word, just go be around them. Go to a hospital, go visit cancer patients, go visit, you know, places where people are sick, go visit places where just that pure, raw vulnerability exists. Dive into life, dive into where I guarantee you can find hope. Because the thing I love about hope is that even if you can't find your own, hope is there that you can borrow somebody's help. You know, this was me. You know, when I was devastated with my hair loss, I didn't know how to hope. I lived a life where I can sit here and tell you there wasn't a lot of hope. But through me just choosing to be around people, choosing to engage, choosing for me to get up and just go sit around people, how hope was given to me by others, or man, hope found me. And so I'm excited about this month. I'm excited, you guys, about everything that we're going to be diving into and the different guests that we're going to have on. I'm excited because we will have a gospel singer and artist who's traveled the world. AJ Ryan will be with us this month. And I will be sharing with you his videos all throughout the month. So I guarantee you're going to be excited when he joins us this month, as he just brings his heart and brings his gospel in such a way that I guarantee you hope will get to you. So I'm excited about this month, you guys, excited that you're joining me. And I look forward to our time together as we talk about and celebrate Hope Floats. I'll see you soon.